Hey, welcome back everybody to the John and Gene show, Mafia Unveiled. And today I got a special edition, something that's very important to me and something that's dear to my heart. And me being an ex-criminal and ex-gangster, I always say I have a different outlook and expertise view of things that sometimes this government tries to get us as divisive as possible, to separate us, to make us hate each other, to make us go at each other's throats, for their power, for their influence, and their control over the public. So I want to give you some stats, and today I'm going to talk about the police departments around the country, around the world, New York City, and some facts that people can understand. So when I start talking about some of this stuff, I want people to, I'm going to read you some facts, and then we can discuss opinions. But here we go. So for the people that don't realize, in New York City Police Department, there's 36,000 officers. Out of those officers, it's 50% black, 43% white and Spanish. And this is from 2023. And for the people who also don't understand, entry-level price salary is about $40,000 a year for an average officer. They make about $25, $26 an hour. Actually, without risking your life, without everybody attacking you, without everybody trying to sue you these days, and without everybody being such anti-blue, you can work in Target, you can work in Walmart, you can work doing almost anything for 25, 26 bucks an hour, without anybody trying to shoot at you, without anybody trying to kill you. And when you try to defend the public's attacking you. Now, I'm an ex-gangster, and I've said it on all the shows, but I'm a realist, and I try to speak as honest as possible. My life's different from what it used to be in the past. But the difference now is I'm very open-minded about the truth, even when back then. So when I got those beatings from police officers, I understood it. To me, these guys that are on the street, you want to be a gangster, you want to be on the street, that's part of the game. But as soon as they get beat up, as soon as they get hit, as soon as anything happens, they're crying. They're crying, they're complaining, they're calling the news. Well, then get off the fucking street. You know, in our day, you got a head cracked by guys on the street. You got your head cracked by police officers. If you look for trouble, you're going to find it. If you're not bothering anybody and you're not bothering police officers, trust me, 99.9% of them want to go home. They want to take their salary. They don't want a problem. And when people say, oh, you're pro-police. No, I'm just pro-truth. It doesn't matter. If a cop's a scumbag, I'll call him a scumbag. If a cop's a ball breaker, I'll call him a ball breaker. But to me, majority of them are nice guys. It's your attitude. It's the way, and I've said it over and over again. If you think you're right, comply, and tomorrow morning complain. Go hire a lawyer and complain. But if you're a street guy and you know you're doing something wrong, you're already going to be defensive. We know that, so let's not bullshit each other. But let me get into some of the things that so people understand. Why are the police, why do they have that such a bad reputation? What is it with the media, mainstream media, that's full of shit? And we got to all start calling them out. Because here's some facts for you, and I'll give you facts about the police. There was 370 officers shot last year. 378. That's not one or two. So where is all the public outrage and outcry when these cops are getting killed trying to protect us? Or protect regular, everyday people? Forget about me or you or street guys because you don't want the protection, supposedly. But your family does, your mom does, your grandmother does, your sisters do, your wives do. When they go to the store, they don't want to get robbed, they don't want to get raped, they don't want to get beat up, they don't want to get carjacked, they don't want guns to their head, because that's not what they're about. But we were about that. I used to be about that. And I was one of those guys committing a lot of crimes, not against the public, but against gangsters. But I shot people, unfortunately. I killed people, I battered people, I stabbed people. So the job of the police officer was to stop me. So when I got my beatings from them, they cracked my head open, broke my nose, broke my arm, I deserved it. So if we're going to say anything different, I deserved it because I'm in that game. So those guys that are out there complaining and, oh, he pulled me over, he was mean to me, all that bullshit. You know, he was mean to me. You're a fucking gangster, supposedly. You're a tough guy, so he pulls you up by your head, so what? But for the citizens, 378 officers were shot. 115 of those police officers were ambushed. meaning they never bothered anybody. They didn't pull anybody over. You just attacked them. You shot them. 46 of those guys were killed. So you have 46 officers that were killed. You have 378 officers. Some of them ain't never going home to their families for $25 an hour. Imagine. If you're a gangster on the street, you know what kind of money you make. Imagine making $25 an hour and getting abused by the public. And here's a keynote. So when people start talking, 600,000 911 calls a day through this country, they answer. 600,000 from 911 a day. So think about how many incidents that they have day and night before they have any kind of accused of bad shooting or bad arrest, or they're too rough, or they manhandled some gangster on the street. Because mostly anybody that's being manhandled is either during a domestic dispute, or because they're not complying, or because they're attacking somebody else, they're assaulting somebody else, shooting somebody else, robbing somebody else. But here's some facts for you. Right? In 2017 to 2023, whites were killed, 459 white people were killed, by the police. 459 between 2017 and 2023. 459, I'm going to say it again. So when the news bullshit about the police shooting and it's racist, well, 459 of them are white. So maybe you're going to say they're racist because 7% of those are black officers in the United States, in New York, excuse me. But they're not looking at your color. They could give a shit what your color is. And nobody really in society today, this is not 1960. I don't think anybody gives a shit about color. Only the news pulls that crap about color. But since they want to talk about facts, I'm going to talk about facts. Blacks, there was 228 killed by the police in that same time period. That's double the amount of whites were killed. Double whites were killed. So why is the news putting this agenda on TV? And it's not true. Spanish, 167 were killed in that same time period. So it's 3 times the amount of whites were killed in Spanish, 2 times more whites were killed than black. So what's this agenda? Others were 41, whatever race, Indian, Arabic, any other race they're adding in there. In 2024 so far, 4 officers were killed in a 3-week period. 61% of the black community, now these are all factual, anybody can check. These are all fact-based. 61% of black community want police in their neighborhood. You know why 61% of the black community? Because they're normal, everyday, going to work citizens. Maybe another 10 or 15 or 20% of those citizens don't have an opinion. But another 20% of the black community want more police presence. That's the black community I'm talking about. That wants 61% want the police officers there, and another 20% want more police officers there. So now you're at 81%. So when the news are talking about defund the police and the police this and that, they're full of shit. This is why nobody wants to listen to the mainstream news anymore. It's propaganda. And the reason why they do that is because they want to play you for the elections. They want you to vote Democrat for the elections. The same people that are trying to play you propaganda, they work for that party. They're basically a party of the Democratic Party, the news. And what they're not telling you is they kicked you out of your schools in Chicago. They kicked you out of your hospitals in Chicago, and they put illegal immigrants there. They're spending $450 billion a year on illegal immigrants, but not on the inner city, not on the black communities and Spanish communities. Those same people won't tell you that they didn't want to sign a bill that Tim Scott proposed to Obama, 10 years for black universities and black colleges. He refused to sign it. He refused to do anything about black on black crime in these cities where they're killing each other at 90%. 90% murder rate is black on black. Just to give you some of the things that the government isn't doing for you. They want to see you stay down. And this is the reason why I'm always talking about 2024 Trump, and not because of any other reason, but Trump signed that 10-year bill for black universities and colleges. Trump did have zones in black and Spanish and inner city neighborhoods to exceed. He didn't want to just hand you money. He wanted to elevate you to own your own businesses that nobody talks about. But I can tell you about Joe Biden. He was best friends with Senator Byrd, who was one of the leaders of the KKK, he did his eulogy. I've said it over and over again. So when you're listening to people, listen to some of the things that Malcolm X said about the Democratic Party. Going to the next level. You have population that wants more police overall in the United States. These are just facts, and they're written facts because I fact-checked everything and then I went back to it. Now I want to tell you one of the most damaging things that they don't tell you. Whites kill blacks at 2%. So the average white gangster or whatever, or somebody got into an argument on the street, they kill not themselves, they kill blacks at 2%. Whites kill whites at 16%. So at an 8-time higher rate do they kill themselves over killing anybody that's black. So when they give this agenda about this country is racist, it can't be racist. For those reasons, and it can't be racist because Obama won 2 terms as president. 2 terms. So there's the white community all voted for him. So how's it a racist community? How's it a racist country? Everybody comes from around the world to come to this country because of the freedoms of this country. The Democratic Party is trying to be a communist party, a socialist party, so they want to divide and conquer. Mafia techniques, I've been talking about this forever. These are mafia techniques. They want you as a black man to hate that white guy. They want the white guy to hate that Spanish guy. They want that Arab guy to hate the Indian guy. Don't fall for this sucker move. These are sucker moves. They're putting battery packs in people to hate each other. All of us, everybody doesn't care about color. We know that when we... So let me finish up my thoughts so the rest of you guys can understand where I'm going with this. All right, so like I said, you have whites that kill blacks at 2%. You have whites that kill whites at 16%. You have blacks that kill whites at 81%, but they're only 14% of the population. So you see the number, right? And this doesn't have to do with race. This has to do with our neighborhoods and the way things fall in place and poverty between where I grew up and other guys of other colors, black, Spanish. Some of my best friends are, family members are, and but the agenda by Joy Reid and different people that are very rich, they live out in the Hamptons, they don't tell you that. And then you have black on black crimes at 90%. So that's an incredible number of black kids that are killing each other, but yet nobody's talking about it. But then when you have a police officer that kills a black at 1%, 1% police officers kill black individuals, 1%. And you have the media tearing up against the police that are working on the street after I gave you all these other numbers. Why is that? You got to ask yourself, why are they doing it? Why are they gaslighting everybody in the street? But when you have blacks killing blacks at 90%, random drive-by shootings where they're innocently killing kids by accident, babies, 6 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, there's nobody all over the street. Where are you, Al Sharpton? Because guys like Martin Luther King Jr., they don't make them anymore like that. One of the greatest leaders ever, because he didn't spark division, he sparked unity. And they're trying to bring us back to division because that's the way they keep in power and hold their control. And anybody from the street, we know this already. We're too smart for this. Don't let them bait you. Then you have police that kill whites at 3%. At 3%, more whites are killed than blacks are actually. Why aren't these numbers being shown by the media? Where's CNN? Where's CNN when they lie about the Hunter laptop? We've seen enough now. We've seen what the DOJ has done with the Epstein cover-up. When I did that on my show about Epstein in prison, and I was there and I discussed how that was. We just did an Epstein 2. That'll be out next week. We seen that CIA signed 51 guys signed and lied about the laptop, Hunter Biden, that was real. We seen what they did with the Russian collusion. We know what they're doing now with Nikki Haley. So people that don't understand, they brought in Nikki Haley, who's actually a rhino Democrat that said she worked for China. Now she's playing the race card that she was abused as an Indian because the Democratic Party and the money behind the Democrats are backing her. That's why she's not removing herself out of the presidential race for a Republican Party, because she's backed by the Democratic Party. And the reason why they're doing that, so people don't know, is because by any crazy chance, if they keep indicting Trump and he can't run, they have her there, and then they have Joe Biden. And they can control them both, and Joe Biden can't bring in numbers right now. He's finished. After what he's did walking us into World War III, he won't bomb Iran. And the reason for the people that don't understand that is because our oil and gas prices will go up. They'll skyrocket. So he doesn't want to go after Iran. He's funding Iran, who's actually funding Hezbollah, who's actually funding the Houthis, who's actually funding Hamas. And they're also funding Israel at the same time. I said, so when people understand what's going on, and there's wars all over the Middle East, and you have Jordan, Pakistan, and you have everybody shooting rockets at each other right now. Where's the safety of the world? Where is the money going? Because he's sending it to Ukraine, but he's not sending it to our black and brown communities, or the poor white communities, or to our veterans, or to healthcare, mental care, or to housing, education, overwhelming our healthcare system. They closed down our borders, closed them down when they felt like it, right? And I'm pertaining to, and they locked us all in a house when it was COVID. But then they forced vaccines on us. Now they're trying to force battery-operated cars that are breaking down all over the place because the batteries can't operate in the cold weather. And 70% of the employees of those cars are in China, along with the lithium and all the battery minerals we need are in China. They're going to lose 30% of our workers in Detroit and every other car dealer, every other car manufacturing city, with the way Joe Biden wants to move with the battery-operated cars. Also, they're taking away our stoves. Also, so who's the tyrant? Who's the dictator? Who's the one that doesn't allow free speech? Who's the one that's chasing after people and going on bank accounts to see who's going? That's the Democratic Party right now. So when people wake up, it doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican, independent, you want your freedom. They're trying to take our freedom from us. And everybody needs to see this. This is why I'm coming out with showing you these numbers. Where is the communities with the black and black killings? They're killing the shit out of each other. And nobody's coming forward trying to help these kids. No one's helping them get better jobs. Nobody's helping them do anything. I said, they want them to fail at school. They're closing down schools now and putting illegal immigrants in their schools. So for all you rich people, all you rotten rich people from every walk of life that is okay for illegal immigrants to come in, sign up and let them live in your house. But I haven't seen any of these politicians say to let any of these homeless kids that are all over, that are American kids from our inner cities, live in their house. I haven't seen any of them say, let any of these orphanage kids, 125,000 of them, live in your house. Or any of our war heroes, our veterans, live in your house that are living in the street. I really need people to speak out. I was once that criminal in the street. I'm not that poor me guy. I went to jail. I deserved to go to jail. I got beat up by the cops. Sometimes I was wrong. Sometimes I was right. But I was the agitator by being on the street, not living a conducive life to being a good citizen. Now it's the opposite. Our government are corrupt. Just recently, the House Speaker of the GOP in Arizona tried to bribe Carrie Lake from staying out of the Senate race. And she exposed him on tape. And this is what's going on. Why? Because they want to get rid of anybody that's pro-America, anybody that'll fight against the system, that's going to hurt them so they can't steal from us the way they are. Billions of dollars going to other people's borders, but all of a sudden it's too difficult to close our border down. Our president is actually fighting Governor Abbott about the wire so he can keep out illegal immigrants. He's actually fighting him to take it down, and he also invited the illegal immigrants in this country. He's acting like he cares. He's acting like they're asking for money. The only money they're asking for from Congress is to be able to process them in this country faster. Look all over the street. They're sleeping all over the street. They're taking over the inner city parks. They don't have a park to play in anymore because they're putting in illegal immigrants there. They're taking over hotels like they just did in Maine and put them in new housing for 2 years for free. But all the homeless in Maine, they have to stay on the street. So they bypass all them. They bypass single mothers, whether they're white, black, Spanish, or any other color. People need to unite. It doesn't matter your color, it doesn't matter your religion, it doesn't matter, but wake up and see what they're doing to us. They're slowly taking every right we have, and they're trying to make this a communist country. And you should be shaking the police officers' hands that work for us around every street. Because even as a gangster, I wanted my family safe. I wanted my kids safe. I lost my child, I'll say it again, I say it always, to fentanyl. And that's the consequences of Mayorkas and Biden purposely leaving our border open, purposely hurting our kids, purposely destroying their lives, because it's very simple for them to close down the border, put the National Guard there, finish the walls, put barbed wire up, stop inviting them in and tell them you're going to give them free everything. What else is it to take? I mean, especially for the street people, whoever you are, we're too smart for this. We already know what this is. We know how this works. The regular individual's got their head in the sand and doesn't want to see, want to keep their hands over their eyes like they're blind. You got to wake up and realize the police are on our side. They're protecting the citizens. You imagine making $25 an hour and then being charged with murders. They're being charged, they're being attacked, they're being rocked. And who do you think's paying for that? You think those citizens are out there protesting for Palestine or protesting BLM or protesting? This is all funded stuff. Try to get 100 of your friends together to go protest somewhere. Everybody's busy. They're out getting laid, they're going to the beach, they're going to a party, they're getting high, they're going to dinner, they're doing this. You can't get 100 people together. This is all paid by George Soros, Bill Gates, that they're all on Epstein Island. This ain't regular everyday citizens. Where's the regular everyday citizens? Everybody's busy with their own lives, personal lives, trying to survive. These prices, inflation are out of control. You go I don't know who goes and goes for their bullshit. Go to the store and buy some food at a supermarket and it's tripled. Go put gas in your car and it's almost doubled. And it's only going to get higher. And they won't protect this country because there's an election coming up. They don't want to bomb Iran. And Iran, all those kids they're killing, those Muslim kids they're killing because they were trying to protest against Iran so they could have freedom, they killed them, they jailed them, they separated their families. Same with China. They act like they're a society that actually 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, they got to go to work. So everybody knows. This country, half the people don't want to work 6 hours. They don't even want to work at an office somewhere. They want to stay home still. That was the government's ploy, to keep you lazy, to close down shopping centers, to order by Amazon. This is all a way to control you also. And the next thing is they're going to try to go to digital money. So they really can control you. And then they will charge whatever fees they want, like they do with a credit card, but then you have no control. And they automatically take your money out of your bank. This is where this is heading. WHO, World Health Organization, is a joke. It's run by China. The guy's not even a doctor that's running that organization. United Nations, they're threatening to kill us every day. Iran's heading that now. Is everybody seen enough yet? Wake up. Follow me. Go on my Instagram, johnalite. Follow me on Facebook. Follow my show on YouTube. The Mafia Unveiled, John and Gene show. And be public. Speak. This election means so much in 2024. They've jailed President Trump so often for nonsense. They got some crazy lady that's charging them with talking against them. The woman's a nut. She was on Anderson Cooper. Even he rolled his eyes and he had to take several breaks and advertise. He couldn't believe what was coming out of her mouth. I mean, doesn't anybody see what they're doing? They're trying to stifle us, trying to stop him from running because they don't want us to have a free election. If they're not afraid of him and they think he's really a nut, let's see who votes for him. Because people aren't stupid, they just think we are. God bless America. Follow for you, please support them. Don't go after them. That's what they want. That's what this government's trying to make you do. Nobody wants to defund them. I gave you stats. Every inner city kid that's walking to school that wants to be educated, their families need it to be protected. And not even intentionally. These kids are being killed in random gunfire. And then you have black on black crime. Like I said, they're killing each other like crazy and this government won't do anything. Every major city is run by Democratic Party. Every major city. They want you to kill yourselves. Trust me, I was one of you guys. I was shot up, I was stabbed up, I was battered, I was in jails almost 20 years. This is what they want. They want us to get rid of each other. And then they want to bring in illegal immigrants to take your place. And give them all your money. And then you couldn't believe what was coming out of her mouth. Doesn't anybody see what they're doing? They're trying to stifle us, trying to stop him from running because they don't want us to have a free election. If they're not afraid of him and they think he's really a nut, let's see who votes for him. Because people aren't stupid, they just think we are. God bless America. Follow for you, please support them. Don't go after them. That's what they want. That's what this government's trying to make you do. Nobody wants to defund them. I gave you stats. Every inner city kid that's walking to school that wants to be educated, their families need it to be protected. And not even intentionally. These kids are being killed in random gunfire. And then you have black on black crime. Like I said, they're killing each other like crazy and this government won't do anything. Every major city is run by Democratic Party. Every major city. They want you to kill yourselves. Trust me, I was one of you guys. I was shot up, I was stabbed up, I was battered, I was in jails almost 20 years. This is what they want. They want us to get rid of each other. And then they want to bring in illegal immigrants to take your place. And give them all your money. And then tell you they don't have money for education. All right, everybody. God bless America. Good night.